video for the 25Det Cefiro. Today we're going to be trying to sort out the vibration it is so we can take it out for that rip in Mexico. Don't know if we're going to get it sorted today, but I can guarantee you by the end of this video it'll be fucking done and we'll be ripping it up, so stay tuned.
Mighty Waka!
I don't know if it's just me, but I find working on cars very just soothing, confident. This is my relaxing. 10 hours of work, come home and do this, I'm happy. I'm annoyed I have to take all of this fucking shit off again, just check the timing marks on the crank, because that's potentially what it could be. We checked the cams when we put it all back together and the dots lined up. Well, we checked them after we turned it over, but we didn't check the crank one, so potentially the crank one's out. We're not entirely sure, so yeah, like I said, all this shit's got to come off so we can check that again. You got tight bolts, you need an Allen key to take them off. Long socket extension. Piece of piss, mate. It looks like we sorted that vibration. We took the harmonic balancer off, loosened off the tension a little bit, put it back on, put the balancer back on, and then obviously put it all back together, started it up, and yeah, it's gone. So we're still not entirely sure what was causing it. Could have maybe been the balancer being too tight or loose, or the tension on the belt being too tight or loose, or fuck, we don't know, but it's gone, so that's sorted. There's a fucking horrible sound still that you would have seen when we test drove it before I brought it. That sound's still there, but we've worked out that it's actually the manifold, and I'll show you why. That stud there has got no nut on it, and right there you can see that it doesn't even have a stud at all. And also at the far one, again, it doesn't even have a stud. So this manifold is leaking like crazy. This car definitely has the fucking definition of RFB. This thing's been slapped together. But since I'm going to be putting this manifold and new turbo on, I'm just going to pull all that shit off at some point. I was gonna put new studs, well, not new studs. What I've done on my other Cefiro is like these hex screws, and they just basically screw in, so you eliminate the stud. It's way better, way easier, and they're stronger. So I'm probably not gonna do that for a couple weeks. What we're gonna do is put the locky in this thing, do the service, new oil, filter, new coolant, and even though it sounds like shit, it'll still do a skid. So we're gonna play Little Johnny and slap this bitch together and go and do some skids for you. Look at that oil is black. So I was just in the middle of working on the Cefiro, doing a service on it, and the neighbour came up to me and said that my girlfriend's rear windscreen had been smashed. So I ran out, I was like, what the fuck? And turns out it was honest mistake, it was just a stone shot up from the lawnmower. But yeah, look at this. She's fucked, mate. Not the goods. Alright, so for you guys at home, I seriously invest in getting one of these. It makes pulling off your oil filter so much easier. Instead of having to yank on it to try and get it loose, you just put this on it, it just tightens up, and then you just crack it like that, just like you would with a wrench or a spanner or whatever. So yeah, definitely makes life a fuckload easier. And something else that's good to do is that you can just take some of the old oil, grab it on your finger, and you just put it around the rubber here. It stops it from, when you're screwing it on, it stops it from pinching the seal. Gets you a better seal and less of a chance of leaking when you put it on. Service for this thing's done. Pretty much just got to chuck the locky in this thing, and yeah, take it out later tonight and some private roads down in Mexico. This piece of shit needs a turn real bad. Look at that. That's running very rich. That is a lot of soot to come out of an exhaust. Low car problems. You got to back up on wood to be able to fit the jack under it. Right people, don't make the fucking same mistake we did. So this is a diff we just pulled out, and this is the diff that was going to go in it. This is an ABS diff, which means it's about that much too long. If you guys have seen my previous videos, you saw that we had an issue with the drive shaft and my other Cefiro being slightly too short. That's because that car originally had this locked diff in it. So when we put a non-ABS diff in that, the drive shaft was slightly too short because it had been modified, slightly shortened to fit that. So I sorted out, figured out an issue that we were having with that, and the reason was because it had this diff in it. So yeah, we're gonna chuck this one back in it. It seems to be a really tight open diff anyway, so maybe it'll get two wheels just sitting on the spot. But yeah, we'll take it out later tonight and give it a test. Right, so we just got to my mate's place, and what we're doing right now is we're just taking the front wheels and putting them on the back and putting the back wheels on the front, just because the ones that were on the back were pretty rooted. So but while I've got the wheel off, give you a chance to show you guys a bit of the suspension and shit. So this obviously 5-stud conversion and big brakes off a R32 GDST, all standard arms and shit, standard knuckle. We've got some real old school like Japanese coilovers in the front here. I'll show you guys the ones in the back in a second. But yeah, these things are pretty old, but no, they do well. Holy shit. And I just realized that this was way down. Fucking RFB. Right, so in the back you can see, again, 5-stud, big brakes off a R32 GDST. The fronts, forgot to mention earlier, they are 4 pots, and these back ones are 2 pots. Again, just standard arms and shit. But yeah, so the rear ones are D2. They're a bit old school as well, but yeah, they do pretty well. So yeah, that's the 25Det Cefiro. Honestly, I think it goes pretty fucking well. It goes a lot better than I was expecting it to with the manifold leak. That thing sounds like a fucking tractor. It's leaking so bad. So I think I've got some pretty fucking cool plans. So next weekend I'm going to put the new manifold on, new turbo. I think I've got an open diff that came out of my other Cefiro originally at my uncle's. And I'm pretty sure that one will fit. So if it does, then I'm going to weld that up, put that in, do a couple of other small things. I'm going to put another fan on it. At the moment it's got a push fan. I want to put another pull fan on the radiator, just to make sure that the temps are cool. I don't have a temperature gauge, so I'm gonna probably try and put in a temperature gauge at some point. And then the following weekend, I'm actually going to trailer the car down to Timaru. I've got a couple guys down there that have got some dope RBs. One's got a 25Det Cef and one's got a 20Det Skyline, and they're both gonna do some vids with me. Because one of the things that I've had an idea that I really want to do is start making like car check videos, so I can show off a bit of the South Island and Christchurch car scene, and show you guys a bit of what we got. So I'm going to go down there, take my Cef, I'm going to do some vids on their cars, and then we're probably going to go on a bit of a cruise and maybe a cheeky skidmish as well. So that's going to be pretty cool. In the video you can see when I went to third, it started to break up, and I think that's because when it got really hot, the coil packs were breaking down, because the coil packs on the 25Det are the original coil packs. So probably going to look at getting some new coil packs sometime in the near future as well. But that'll be it for today's video. Like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, catch you next time.